inaugural Sewist and Knitter podcast. My name is Patricia. I'm recording on Dharug Country in Western Sydney, Australia, and it's been a little while. So if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy what I'm putting out there. I am going to do something a little bit different this episode, so I'm going to split it up into two parts again because you'll seem to really like that. So we'll do it that way. And I am going to have one segment that is your standard knitting podcast segment and a different segment that will be maker adjacent. So, and that'll have a bit of life update stuff in it as well. So, part one will be about the non-knitting, standard knitting podcast template. I'm going to put in some footage and talk through some styling for my Lento sweater, which is the one I'm wearing now. So you can see I've paired it underneath my peppermint Milton pinafore, which I sewed up, which is also a finished object. So I wanted to show you a couple of ways of how I style my knit or knits, not just for casual wear, but also for work. So you'll see some footage of me wearing this sweater with a skirt for work, as well as some pants, and also in a casual look. And I'll show you a few different things in terms of what else I might change with an outfit to give it a different feel. I'm very much about making things for my wardrobe that I can use in my corporate life as well as at home or casually. So I do focus a lot on what patterns I can sew and knit and what colours I can choose for that. Having said that, I do also get drawn to a lot of softer pastel colours. I might not necessarily wear that for work, or I would find a way to incorporate it into work, but I haven't done that yet. When I do, I will show you. So you'll see some footage that I'll put in where I'm just showing you and talking you through it. I wanted to give you a bit of an overview of a complete look, so I've also gone through and showed you pairing with the Sophie bag by Arlington Milne, which I discovered through the Serenity Knitting podcast. So Alex has just started recording podcasts as well, and she showed the capacity of that handbag, and immediately I jumped online and ordered it. So I forgot to mention, anything that I do mention I will include in the notes on the description below so that you can go and have a look. Designers, makers, products, I'll have them linked below so that you can find them. So some of the styling footage includes that handbag as well as Louis Vuitton Matisse Pochette, which is my birthday present to myself this year, just to give you a bit of an idea of how you can mix high and low, but also how it can look. So you can kind of see the attention on the hardware or the colour of the leather and how I've paired that. And also included a belt in there as well, which I've styled with the pants, just to give you a bit of an idea of how that can change the outfit. So hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know. I'd be really interested to hear if you find that useful. I will try and include some footage now showing how I style a knit per episode. So next episode will be a different knit, and then we'll just take it from there. Sometimes it might look the same because I do wear a lot of black, It's the easiest colour to pair and style, and we'll see how it goes.
So in this first shot, you can see me with the lento sweater in the Yona colour, knit up in the recommended yarn, which is by La Bien-Aimée, using the merino fingering and Kumo base. I'm showing you a pair of patent black brogues here. So when I feel like wearing something flat, or I'm vibing a little bit of I call it like a mod feel, I will wear those with a corporate skirt with some stockings. So these are from Whitner, which I purchased a few years ago, and they have been really, really good. So you can see the comfortable low heel with the knit, and I'm ready to go. That's look number one. Number two, I do wear my Dr. Martens to work. I make sure I keep them nice and conditioned so that I can get the most wear out of them. These are really great for when it's raining. So in Sydney, unfortunately, especially if you work in the city, when it rains, your feet get very wet. And that, I think, has a lot to do with just the way the landscape has been set up. So Dr. Martens or low boots, leather boots, or even a heeled boot is great. So here you can see I've still got the corporate attire going, but I've just changed the shoe. I really love wearing these to work. I've even convinced my boss that they're a good idea, so I'm pleased about that. Now for look number 3 is when I'm feeling a little bit fancy, and I say that because heels are a rarity now. I'm wearing these Baird footwear boots, which were investment, but they are incredibly comfortable. They're an Australian-based brand that were set up by, I think, podiatrists. So that would be how I would use the same sweater with the same skirt and just have it look a little bit different by changing the shoes. Here I've just remembered that I should probably show you the look with the bag. So this is the Sophie bag by Arlington Milne. I was completely influenced by this purchase, or for this purchase, by Alex from the Serenity Knits podcast. So here I am showing you the very same knit with pants, which I'm pairing with a belt. So you can see I am buckling up the belt. So this doesn't have belt loops, and these are some of my favorite pants. They're a wide leg, high-waisted pant. This is obviously why I knit a lot of cropped jumpers, because it makes it really easy to pair with a corporate outfit. And here I'm showing you the brogues again. So for a bit more of a casual look, brogues, wide leg, high-waisted trousers, which do have pockets, which I love, and the same knit. Now I'm swapping over to the ankle boot. So if you're wanting a bit of height or it's raining, usually I wear my boots when it's raining so my pants don't get wet. So you go same knit, with the pants, with a belt, and I am ready to go into the office, except to complete the look, obviously, my handbag. This bag is a good size. It does fit a small knitting project in there if you want to take some knitting to work. I have tried. And also here is where I've remembered I will show you my birthday present, just to give you a bit of an idea of how you can pair your knits up with something named and something unnamed. So I really love the shape of this bag, and I think it just pairs it up. Now for the final look, it's casual. So I've put on a pair of high-waisted jeans. These are some standard mile highs by Levi's. And I'm using the Hohi & Co. Craft Explore boots. This is in their original standard tan leather. These are a great boot and they've taken me many places and I love them. So I've shown you the one with the leg fully extended and the other with the cuff folded up, just to give you some ideas about how I sometimes wear the jeans. I don't walk out with lopsided legs. And if I'm going out somewhere casual on a weekend, I might throw on this beige coat. So it's a bit of like a hunter vibe. So yellows, greens, blues always go together. Here's the surfing bag again. And I'm ready to go. But then I've also remembered that I do like to match the colours of my shoes with my bags. So here is the Hohi & Co. I think this is like the bum bag or the crossbody bag, and it fits my wallet and my phone, and with a pretty scarf, and I am ready to go.
So off the back of that, I do have a bit of a mood board that I like to use to get ideas for makes, but also work out what silhouettes I want to try or experiment with, or silhouettes that are tried and true for me and my shape. So I start off with a bit of a mood board, usually on Pinterest, and I will just Google and dump stuff in. Sometimes I'll do a reverse image search to see where that came from, and that's been pretty helpful. So at the moment I have a French street style mood board, and there is a lot of like satin silk. There is a lot of single color dressings. So for example, if I were to wear these, I would try and find a similar shade of green for a satin slip skirt or dress, and then layer the knit on top. And shoes might be black, brown, or white sneakers. So that's kind of my aesthetic, I guess. Not always in green, but I do love green. I do like a lot of black, so I'm very much about textures, drape. The durability of the fabric is very important to me. So things that are not acrylic or rayon sometimes tend to last longer. I also try and pay attention to that. So whether I'm buying fabric to make something, or whether I am thrifting or I'm buying ready to wear, I try and make sure that I understand the composition of the item and do a bit of a value per wear analysis. So a coat that might cost under $100 from a fast fashion retailer might be really nice and really seasonal. It might be the right price point for many people. But unfortunately, due to the manufacturing standards for some of those brands, they don't necessarily last very long, or the dye runs, or the lining will become unstitched, or a whole bunch of different things can go wrong. So I'm not poo-pooing anyone who goes and buys from a fast fashion retailer. I don't have any view about people who do that one way or another. My personal preference, and I'm fortunate to be able to direct investment in my wardrobe, and sometimes that means putting aside a bit of money to pay a little bit more, but I can have the item for a bit longer. So those are kind of the things that I look out for. So I start with an idea and a concept, and then I do a bit of research, I will see what is local to me. So I do focus a lot on things like Q, Veronica Main, sometimes Colours and Party, for like a kitty piece, like a coat or a blazer, purely because my sewing level is not at that level. I hope for it to be so that I can make my own. That would be amazing. Maybe one day. So that's just a bit about my process that sits behind the styling of my knits, I guess, and the styling of my wardrobe. I think I'll give you a little bit of a life update because it has been a while. So I have gone to a couple of knit events. I've missed out on some as well because I've been really tired. Work has been quite busy, and I've been a bit run down. I've just come back from a weekend away in the snow with my family, which was really lovely. And I hit a new milestone of being able to go down a very amateur run without having needed a beginner's class first. So the times that I have been lucky enough to go down to the snow, I always enroll in a beginner class. That kind of helps me warm up, makes me, get my ski legs, and I feel more comfortable, I guess, with navigating a beginner slope, which are normally quite flat and not challenging to people who are used to going every year. This year I didn't do that. I just went and warmed up in an area where they have it's like semi-flat, and you've got a magic carpet, and then you come down a very small slope, and the muscle memory came back really quickly. So then my partner and I went up to a beginner run, and he very kindly and patiently guided me down and gave me some good tips about wider S-bends. And then I got to the bottom of the slope where it's quite busy and lots of people flying down, and it kind of gets a bit steep. And that's where I had my mini fear tantrum, as I call them. So I took my skis off and hiked the last 10 meters down. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So nonetheless, very, very pleased with myself. We, got to enjoy some mulled wine at the top of one of the peaks at the pub that they have in Thredbo. So you go to Merritt's pub, which you can take a gondola up to. That's a lot of fun. So even if you're not into the snow sports, I do recommend you go. The experience and the atmosphere, it's really lovely. You don't have to stay in the village. You can stay in a nearby town. And there's a lot of nice things that you can do and experience there. So I've done a bit of that. I've made a whole bunch of new knitting friends online, in person, and it's really lovely. Like, makers make the best kind of friends I've found, and I'm connecting with people who are just so kind and generous with their time, but also with their conversation, and I think that's really beautiful. So I'm very, very happy about that. The reason I'm happy about that is because I present quite extroverted. If I go to an event, I'm actually very much an introvert, and so when I get home, I can sometimes overanalyze an interaction or perceive that something went negatively when it didn't. So I get very nervous when I'm going into a space where I don't know someone. I find it quite hard. And even though it may not come across that way to the people that I have met, it takes a lot for me to kind of be comfortable and chatty and making friends and making conversation with people who I don't know. So I put that out there because I think it's important to share that. I think the online community helps people like me connect a lot with other people, and being able to get comfortable socially and do that in person has been also quite wonderful. So with that in mind, I'm just checking my timer to see how I'm going. I wanted to briefly, I guess, touch on a few things that I'll probably, I have plans to make. And the reason I'm going to talk about that here is because what I'm going to try and do is pop some images of some of the style inspiration that I have on my Pinterest and how that's going to hopefully funnel into my makes. So I have the Evie by skirt by Sewist. I have that pattern. I've had it for a while. It's a great beginner friendly pattern. You don't have to use satin silk to sew that pattern. You can use linen. You can use a lightweight denim. You can even use like I think it's called like a washed cotton. Those are nice stable fabrics that you can use if you're still getting comfortable with the sewing machine, because a satin silk and a rayon can be quite slippery. So keep that in mind if you're thinking of taking a sewing machine for a bit of a run. The Evie bias skirt is a really good beginner-friendly pattern, and you can make the elasticated waistband version, which sits quite flush. It sits quite flush, so it's not like a gathered fabric waistband. It's a really nice sleeve. So I have that on my to-do list, and I'll put a couple of images up of what I'm thinking. I do definitely want to find a green that matches this. I have some black satin silk as well, which I plan on making a skirt in, and also the saltwater slip. So I've previously made the ceded slip by Sewist. I have the saltwater slip, and the name of the pattern company that made that. I think it's Friday Patterns, but I could be wrong. I'll put it below. I want to make that slip because it comes with a nice, you make two lengths, but it also comes with the instructions on how to pretty much sew a slit into the slip, like the slip dress. So I think that would be really nice for summer. You can layer it with a t-shirt. You can layer it with a business shirt. I have done that. It looks really nice, which means it can be something that I can wear at home, but also for work. And you can also layer it with a knit. So those are my sewing planned projects. The other thing that I am definitely going to work through is another lento in a different colour. And I also have in mind trying to, I guess, work out a batwing Breton stripe jumper. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I've asked for suggestions on social media, and thank you to everyone who responded. I have saved those. We'll see. So I think that's it for my serial style segment. Maybe I'll call it like serial style. And thank you for sticking with me as I rambled through style inspo, and how I put stuff together to wear it to work. You're welcome to end your viewing experience there. You are also welcome to stick around for the next part, which is more of the standard podcast episode, which will cover off all the standard stuff that I normally talk about. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you like the styling video that I've also included in this episode. I want to put more of those in. I've had a few conversations with people in the community who have asked how I wear my stuff to work, and I'm always happy to share and give ideas and answer questions. So thank you for sticking around. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It means a lot to us who create content. When people do that, we get a little notification when that happens. You can also hit the bell button below, and that'll give you a notification for when the next video comes up. So thank you, and I will see you